Hi, I'm Sarah, and in just a few seconds, I'm about to share with you my magical desire phrases that use the secret language of men to flip even the most uninterested, unenthusiastic man's passion switch from off to on and actually make him experience a rush of giddy craving and love for you. Just casually drop these tiny secret phrases into your next conversation with him and watch as any disinterest, uncertainty, or lack of desire on his part turns into a passionate and overwhelming flood of red hot desire for you. Watch as that previously cold, disinterested man suddenly starts to melt with almost needy love for you, just the way that a newborn puppy can't help but crawl helplessly towards its mother, begging for the affection that only she can give. Watch as he starts greedily craving to spend every single moment with you and starts to buy you surprise gifts, write you love notes, and kiss you so hungrily, so tenderly, that you'll think you've died and gone to heaven. Now, maybe you're asking, how can such simple, tiny phrases have such a magical effect on men? Well, it's almost embarrassingly simple, really, because these simple words use the secret language of men to pull off his tough guy mask, tear down his defensive barriers, and literally have him craving to be your guy forever. In fact, the thousands of women who have already used these simple phrases to overwhelm their man with a flood of passionate love and desire have seen for themselves how these simple, almost magical desire phrases give you the emotional control in your relationship. So you can flip his passion switch to on, have him chasing your love, and finally, enjoy the loving, passionate relationship you've always wanted. Best of all, these stunningly easy words are essential for any woman to use, and they work on any man in any type of relationship situation. Fair warning though, this quick video contains such uniquely powerful secrets that I was forced to sign a contract promising that I will only keep this video online for a certain amount of time. Therefore, this video could literally be taken down at any moment. And if you leave this page, I cannot guarantee that you will ever find it again. So please watch it now before I am legally bound to rip it offline and before the world loses these magical phrases forever. First, here's a quick question for you. Have you ever found yourself feeling almost powerless in your relationships with men? Do you ever wish that he would stop being so distant, weird, or emotionally aloof at times, and that he would put more effort in to love you and sweep you off your feet with big romantic gestures? Do you ever wonder why other women get all the luck? Or why he stopped trying to earn your love? Or maybe even why he never tried that hard in the first place? If you feel like any of these questions ring even the faintest bell inside your heart, then you have to know you are not alone. And today I'm about to share with you something truly out of the ordinary that tears off his tough guy mask and literally makes him experience a powerful rush of ravenous, giddy desire for you. When you use these phrases, he literally has no control in the matter at all anymore. Just the way that a man who was drunk half a bottle of whiskey literally can't stop himself from feeling giddy and intoxicated. It's all so powerful, so instinctual, and so overwhelmingly effective that he literally can't resist. Now, I need to open up real quick and share something private with you. This is deeply personal, yet it's really the only way I can show you how this secret works. Emotionlessly, Nate stared at me like he'd never seen me before. "Calm down, for God's sake," he said indifferently. "Crying about it isn't going to change anything." It had been less than 10 minutes since Nate, my boyfriend of almost 2 years, dropped this nuclear bomb right in the middle of my life, and I was still struggling to make sense of it all. I felt like my heart was being mangled by his cruel words. And it's true that I knew he was a guy with commitment issues, and it's true that he had been acting weird and almost distant for some time now. Yet I had been trying to believe that if I just tried hard enough and just kept showing him how deeply I loved him, that he would eventually see how perfect we were for each other. But nothing worked. No matter what I did, he continued to pull away from me. And now he was leaving. "Sarah, I really am sorry to hurt you like this," he said. "But I honestly thought we were both on the same page here. I thought you knew I wasn't the kind of guy who just settles down forever. You didn't do anything wrong, but I can't do this anymore. I have to go." Then he closed the door behind him, and just like that, he was gone. When I first met Nate a few years ago, he was actually my yoga teacher. His classes were always packed with young women, all of them posing and primping and trying to get the hot young yoga instructor to notice them. Meanwhile, there I was, huffing and puffing away on my sweat-soaked mat in the third row. I was just focusing on not collapsing on the floor. I could have cared less about doing the splits to impress the teacher. So you can imagine my complete surprise when one night after a class that left me shiny, red faced, and gasping for breath, he approached me and asked me flat out if I'd like to have dinner sometime. I remember he walked up and handed me a coconut water. Here, drink this, he said with a wink. You look like you could use it. I laughed and probably blushed. And I probably said something completely dumb back. Yet the conversation obviously went well because it ended up with him saying, Great, so I'll pick you up at 8. And me walking out to the car park like I was floating on air. You have to understand, I'm not the world's ugliest woman by any means. Yet I'm definitely no glamazon either. Socially, I actually think of myself as pretty quiet around guys, and it is by no means normal for some super fit hunk to single me out of a crowd. Yet out of all those gorgeous girls in their tiny hot pants, I was the one he liked best. Our relationship moved fast. We got on so well, and he really made me laugh. And since he'd already seen me at my red faced worst in his yoga class, I felt that he had already seen the real me and that he liked me for who I was. Of course, at first, I did worry a little. I figured he was probably used to skinny women who could cross their legs behind their heads and health nut girls who eat nothing but kale and uncooked okra. As for me, I'm squishy rather than hard. I don't have abs and I prefer chocolate and red wine to uncooked okra. But Nate said he liked how different I was to other women. He liked that I was a real woman. And he said that he was sick of all those skinny yoga Barbies in their waterproof mascara. And honestly, for one whole year, I felt like I was in heaven. That here was a man who'd seen me for who I was. And that he loved me for my flaws, not just in spite of them. But slowly, after that first perfect year, things started to cool off between us. He began to stop calling and texting so often, and he started acting less affectionate and more grumpy around me. Instead of the loving Nate I was used to, suddenly I started to feel like he was just annoyed with me all of the time. Frantic, I began to try everything I could think of to fan the flames and get him thinking of me again as the woman he fell for. I tried sexy lingerie. I tried to be more fun and easygoing. I asked to accompany him to his boring yoga seminars. And I even did his crazy juice fasts with him so we could have shared interests. One time for his birthday, I even baked him a special Raw Foods vegan birthday cake. The recipe called for grated beetroot, raw dates, and bean curd, and I iced it with raw cacao frosting. Frankly, it was disgusting, but I baked it anyway because I thought he would see how much I loved him if I could just prove it to him. But nothing worked. It seemed like every time I reached out to him, he got more skittish and uncertain. And it got to the point where we hardly even had sex anymore. And for months, I struggled like a woman on the verge of drowning to bring back the way things were when we first got together. And then one day he came home from the yoga studio, threw his bag on the table and said, "We need to talk." And now here we were, with me kneeling hopelessly on the floor, listening to my own sobs ringing through the empty apartment, and him driving off in his car to the next woman and the next adventure. Over the next few weeks, I couldn't bear to even tell my friends what had happened. I was too embarrassed. After raving on for months about how perfect Nate and I were for each other. But one day, my best friend Jenna paid me a surprise visit. She turned up unexpectedly one night when I was curled up on the couch, sobbing into one of Nate's old t-shirts. And with one glance, she realized instantly what had happened. "It's okay, Sarah," she said, soothingly holding me while I cried. "I know it hurts, but you'll get through this." Then she pulled her iPhone out of her back pocket and started scrolling frantically through it. "What are you doing?" I asked thickly, blowing my nose and sniffling. "I'm getting the number that's going to save your life," she said, not looking up. Then, in a matter of seconds, she found the number, dialed it on her phone, stuck it in my hand, and said, "Talk." "What?" I hissed, weakly pushing the phone back at her. "I don't even know who you called. Who even is it? What are you doing?" "Just tell her what's happened," she said smugly. "It's all going to be okay. You'll see." With a click, I heard the other end get picked up. "Hello," said a soft woman's voice. "This is Mirabelle speaking." Hi," I said. "Listen, you don't know me, and this is a little weird, but I just got dumped by the love of my life, and my friend called you just now and made me talk. I'm sorry to bother you. I don't really know what she was doing. I'll go now." "No, no, no," said the voice commandingly. "Your friend was right. Stay on the phone and just tell me what happened." And for some reason, instead of hanging up, I found myself telling her everything. Something about her voice made me feel that I could trust her. And thank God I did, because staying on the phone with Mirabelle that night was one of the best decisions I ever made. Because the advice she gave me on that phone call changed my love life forever. "First of all," she said, "it's not that you did anything wrong. It's that you approached your relationship in the wrong way. If you really want a man's true love, and to have him bending over backwards to love you forever, then loving him more won't get you there. And hoping he'll see how perfect you are together won't get you there. And trying to be the perfect girlfriend definitely won't get you there. It's like training a dog. If a dog is misbehaving, you can't correct that misbehavior with affection. Giving affection at the wrong time just tells the dog to keep on misbehaving because you are reinforcing the behavior you don't want. And it's the same thing with men. You said that every time you tried to show your love, he just backed away more, right? Yes, I said quietly, gripping the phone. That's exactly what it felt like. Well, that's because you were unknowingly reinforcing him for acting disinterested in you. You were giving him all the control in your relationship instead of taking it for yourself. Basically, you pushed him away without even knowing it. But what was I supposed to do? I cried out, confused. Was I supposed to just order him to be more loving? No, said Mirabelle calmly. It's not about being bossy. It's about saying certain specific things that actually make a man respond in the way you want, so that you can finally enjoy the passionate, loving relationship you've always wanted. Then she told me about certain phrases that men respond to automatically that actually make a man experience a rush of giddy desire and love for you, and literally put you back in control of where your relationship is headed. Honestly, I thought it all sounded pretty crazy, but I'd been in such pain for so long that I was willing to try anything. And the secret phrases she gave me weren't anything weird or manipulative either. And when I heard what they were, I knew I could casually use them in any conversation with a man. So I felt pretty comfortable giving them a try. So despite my doubts, I gave it a shot. I didn't really believe it would work, yet what happened next changed my life forever. When I started using Mirabelle's magical desire phrases, it was like I had been given almost supernatural powers over men. I started getting so many texts and phone calls from interested men that my girlfriends started pulling me aside to ask what my secret was. I figured my success had just been a coincidence, so I gave them the secret phrases too. My friends couldn't even believe what was happening to them. Suddenly, these women were running wild amongst an absolute riot of male attention. They were getting dates more easily than they'd ever thought possible, and not just any dates, but dates with smart, handsome, successful men who eagerly begged to be in exclusive relationships and who jumped through hoops to earn their attention and love. As for me, well, it sounds almost crazy, but for the first time ever, I found men almost battling each other over the right to be my guy. Before I used these words, I had never had anything like this kind of adoring, eager attention from men. And today, I am happy to say that I made my choice. Today, he and I are blissfully happy together, and we have been lovingly married for nearly 2 years. He is the smartest, funniest, most loving man I have ever known. And the best part is, he loves me for who I truly am. My husband loves me with makeup and without makeup. He loves me in heels and a dress or in track pants and my gross old bathrobe. And I no longer worry about what might happen if I gain weight or get older because he loves me for who I am. So I know our bond will stand the test of time. Before Mirabelle gave me her simple desire phrases, I always believed true love was nearly impossible to find, and that relationships take sacrifice and effort. Yet now, my love life is so easy that I almost can't believe it. My husband constantly spoils me with surprise gifts, love notes, and sexy, thoughtful little texts. And he actually enjoys making the kind of big romantic gestures I always wished for. Yet before he met me, he says that he didn't have a romantic bone in his body. He says that I must have done something to bewitch him. Little does he know, right? And best of all, no matter how commitment phobic, emotionally illiterate, unromantic, or disinterested he's been acting until now, and honestly, no matter what your love situation is, I want to give these magical desire phrases to you too, so that you too can enjoy the heartfelt love and appreciation from your man. Once you know these words and use them on the man in your life, you will be shocked at how quickly he warms up, wraps you in the heat of his embrace, and honestly floods you with all the love and attention you could ever want. Instead of worrying about the future of your relationship, you will feel that warm sense of strength and security together, and you will see him tripping over his own feet in his eagerness to love you, cherish you, and willingly give you everything you could ever want in a man. Imagine You just use these tiny little phrases and you see the love and desire welling up in his eyes. And he starts to say things like, I never felt this way about a woman before. Let's stop seeing other people. I need to be with you. Or maybe, let's go pick out a ring. Now, instead of feeling ignored or taken for granted, you wake up in the morning and see his face, beaming with love for you. You see him almost fall over himself to kiss you good morning. And you feel so warm and cozy from a night of snuggling in bed together that the world actually seems perfect. And now your friends are even a little jealous because they want a boyfriend who spoils them too. They want a man who brings them little presents and romantic love notes too. They want a man who shouts his love from the rooftops too. And they wish they had the type of relationship that you have. One where things are bright, shiny, exciting, and you never have to wonder or worry or even hope that he loves you because you can see it for yourself. Mirabelle has already taught these secret desire phrases to hundreds of private clients, myself included, and all my friends. And she worked for years to get this rare, powerful formula of magical desire phrases out by coaching women one-on-one, yet it wasn't enough. Working privately wasn't reaching women quickly enough. And Mirabelle was getting dozens of emails from women every day who were begging her just to put them on the waiting list to go on the waiting list. And that's when she realized that the only way to help as many women as she could was to turn her magical phrases into an online course. A course based around the simple desire phrases that will unlock truly magical love for any woman who has ever wanted more from a man, no matter what her current dating situation is right now. The course is called Conversation Chemistry: How to Use the Secret Language of Men to Create and Maintain Unstoppable Attraction with the Opposite Sex. And it is the only course in the world that will flip even the most uninterested, unenthusiastic man's passion switch from off to on, and actually make him experience a rush of giddy craving and love for you. And these phrases will work for you, even if you believe you've already lost his love forever, even if he's acting distant and uninterested, even if you're so used to being taken for granted that it feels almost normal these days. Even if he's already broken your heart, even if you feel powerless, hopeless, and completely out of control in your love life. In fact, it will work for you, even if you think you've tried everything. Mirabelle doesn't just hint at how to make a man fall for you. She pinpoints each step and tells you exactly what to do in any possible situation, so that you never have to wonder what to do or what to say to get him to open his heart to you, and literally make him honestly love you forever. Here's a small sample of what you're going to get. First, the simple and magical desire phrases that saturate his entire body with a shocking flood of desire and love for you. You can use these simple phrases in any conversation, even in public. And these phrases will literally make a man giddy with love and desire for you. He will experience a flush of desire for you that saturates his entire body, that he literally has no control over. Just the way that a man who is embarrassed can't stop himself from blushing. I want you to be careful with how you use these phrases because you will find it almost too easy to make a man obsessed with you. They could literally be dangerous if they fall into the wrong hands, just the way that chocolate tastes delicious if you have just enough. Yet it can also kill a person if they have diabetes. So when you use these words, make sure you only use them for good. I don't want you to use them just to get control over a man or to see some guy forced to helplessly obey your every wish. These phrases are only for women who want to be happy with a man and who just want to make a man truly love them forever. Next, a simple trick Mirabelle discovered by accident that allows you to get his attention and loving adoration in the time it takes to turn off the TV. When you use it, he will treat you as the one woman he can't live without. And you'll never have to ask for, beg for, or demand his attention ever again. Because this simple trick makes him want to focus on you, just like a little kid in a candy store actually wants to focus on the candy. When you use this trick, you will never have to compete with a television, his computer, or his favorite sports team for his attention again. Here are some simple words that can actually make a man fearful of losing you. Because have you ever wished he would appreciate you more? That he would stop taking you for granted? Or that he would realize how lucky he is to have you? These simple words will make a man sit up and thank God that he's with you. and he will actually feel grateful that you chose to be with him. So you never have to play mind games for his love again. Next, do you know what most men find even more attractive than beauty? It actually has very little to do with your looks at all. Master this one simple trick, and he will be stunned at the feelings of respect, admiration, and even pride that he gets to be your man. This is especially great if you'd like a little more attention in general, because this one simple trick will have him eating out of the palm of your hand and completely powerless under your emotional control of him. And if you've ever wondered if you could make a man jump through hoops just to be with you without needing makeup, diets, or hair straighteners to make it happen, well, here's your answer. Next, proven phrases you can use to make a man stop lying to you. You can use these for anything, but personally, I would recommend that you only use them when you really need them. For instance, if you think your relationship is wrecked, or if you think he might be pulling away, because these phrases will have him spilling his guts like he's at a confessional. So only use them when you really want the truth and nothing but the truth. You might be surprised to hear all the things he thinks and feels that he's never told you before. Plus, some of Mirabelle's most closely held secrets that have never been revealed before on how to make sure your relationship gets stronger over time, which means you can stop with the bickering, the fighting, and the lack of passion and love, and just relax and spend your life with someone who makes you laugh, a man who makes you feel safe, secure, and loved, and who would willingly give up anything just to see you happy. Because when you have that kind of relationship to lean on and draw strength from, you will wonder how you ever did without, and so much more. Mirabelle doesn't just throw a bunch of facts at you and leave you to figure everything out. She is so committed to your success and love that she literally takes you by the hand and leads you step by step through every possible situation with a man you could imagine, so that you don't just have to hope that it works. You will see that it works. And now let me ask, if all this were true and everything I've said is for real, what would that be worth to you? What would it be worth to have him so obsessed with you, so utterly addicted with desire and passionate romantic love for you, that he needs you the same way he needs food to eat and water to drink? What would it be worth to have him actually grateful to have you in his life, to see his adoration for you glowing in his eyes, and to know that he would willingly sacrifice anything to keep you in his life forever? When I first got my hands on Mirabelle's magic desire phrases and saw how easy it was to have a man bending over backwards to love me, adore me, and commit himself wholeheartedly to keeping me in his life forever, I knew I wouldn't part with the secrets in that course for any amount of money. In fact, before I found conversation chemistry, I would think nothing of spending hundreds of dollars of my hard-earned money on things like makeup, clothes, sexy lingerie, manicures, pedicures, hair products. One time I even spent $600 to get Botox injected in my forehead, all in the desperate hope that it would make me attractive and make my man love me. And yet the truth is, none of that stuff worked at all. It just wasted my money and left me feeling frustrated, confused, and lonely. So let me ask you, how much money do you typically spend trying to get a man to want you, desire you, and love you? Add it up. The clothes, the nights out, hairstyling, makeup. How much have you already spent? $1,000? How about the last 2 years? $5,000? How about the last 10 years? $10,000? $20,000? More? You already know that none of that stuff works to give you those warm feelings of love and adoration from a man, because none of it truly makes a man love you forever. Conversation chemistry does not cost anything like that amount of money, because when it came to setting the price, Mirabelle completely dug her heels in and refused to sell it for the amount of money that it was originally valued at, $497. She knew that even though this was her life's work, that $497 was just too much money for some women to easily afford, and she had committed herself to sharing this system with everyone who needs it. So that means you get to take full advantage of her stubborn refusal to follow good advice, because you will not be paying $497 for conversation chemistry today. Not even half of that. $249? Nope, not even half of that. $125? By acting today, and only through this online video presentation you're watching right now, you get the full conversation chemistry system for just one simple payment of just $47. And you get to become the type of woman who he falls head over heels in love with forever, starting tonight. All you have to do is click the Add to Cart button below this presentation right now. And you will become the type of woman who literally makes a man so giddy with love and desire for you that he literally can't stop himself from falling for you. You will ignite a wildfire of love and passion in his heart, and he will desperately crave to be with you, and only you, forever. Even if he's already acting so distant and uninterested that you feel like it's too late already. I promise you, no matter what, it's not too late. These magical phrases work on any man in any type of love situation. All you have to do is casually drop them into your next conversation and just watch as success comes automatically. Now, I have a few free gifts for you just for watching this video with me today. First, the double commitment in your relationship report, which will immediately improve your love life because if you want a big romantic gesture from your man, maybe you want him to ask you to move in with him, maybe you want him to ask you to marry him, or maybe you simply want him to eagerly put in more effort and love you, cherish you, and romance you every day. Just get this report, and you will get Mirabelle's best secrets on how to get a man to not just willingly, but eagerly putting in the effort to win your love every single day. You will never feel taken for granted again, and now you can get the love you want, the way you want it. Next, the Increase Your Desirability in Seconds handbook that allows you to use social conversations with men to create a powerful flush of desire in his mind and body for you, and only you. This handbook shows you how to pinpoint what's happening in his mind in any social situation, so you can create attraction whenever you want. And this one's awesome for women who are still dating, or even if you just like a bit more attention now and then. Next, the Femininity Unleashed roundtable discussion with 2 professional dating coaches on exactly how to become the type of woman that men just respond to automatically. You will ignite your feminine energy and send warm shivers of desire up and down his spine at the mere sight of you. You see, being a feminine woman isn't about wearing baby doll dresses or never being seen without your makeup. It is about being the kind of woman whose mere presence triggers an unstoppable surge of masculine desire in the men she meets. Get this report, and you'll become the type of woman who makes a man's belly tighten in desire. The type of woman who men look at and say admiringly to each other, "God, what a woman." And the super bonus, the How to Read a Man's Body Language interview with dating experts. These are the covert tactics that cops, private eyes, and detectives use to know when a man is lying. You'll discover how to crack his secret code and read him like a book. Imagine the certainty of never having to wonder what he's thinking or what he's feeling, because you will take one look at him and simply know for yourself. Imagine having that kind of power over men. Imagine being able to know what he is thinking about you, what he really feels about the relationship, and what he thinks about the future with you. Imagine the power you'll have over your relationships. So let's add it all up. If you act now, you get the Conversation Chemistry System, How to Double Commitment ebook, the Femininity Unleashed roundtable discussion with 2 pro dating coaches, the Increase Your Desirability in Seconds handbook, and the super bonus, the How to Read a Man's Body Language interview with dating experts. That's more than $729 worth of value for less than $50. All you have to do is click the button now, and you'll finally experience for yourself what it means to actually make a man love you, long for you, and yearn to be your guy forever. You really do have to act now, though. As I mentioned before, I am under contract to take this video down sooner or later, which means once this video vanishes, maybe tonight, maybe 5 minutes from now, then this incredible bargain will vanish forever. So please take advantage now while you still can. Plus, I don't just promise that Conversation Chemistry and all of Mirabelle's magical desire phrases will work for you, I guarantee it. You are completely protected by Mirabelle's ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. And she can afford to be this generous because she knows how well these phrases work. And so do I, and so do all of my friends. And so do all the thousands of women who have already used these phrases to get the love they want. Just click the button now, and you'll get a full 60 days to take the product, inspect it fully, play with it, and use it in your life. And if you're not completely happy for any reason, just send a quick email. I'll give you the address on the next page, and you'll get all your money back with no hard feelings. Imagine you casually drop these tiny little phrases into your next conversation with him, and you watch in amazement as his knees go weak. You watch as he starts dry swallowing with excitement, and his voice goes weak and shaky when he tries to talk to you because he's so attracted to you that he gets all flustered and jumpy whenever you're around. Watch as he drops everything instantly and starts falling all over himself to do whatever it takes to charm you, romance you, and make you his one and only love forever. When you use these phrases, he will be just like a hungry dog staring and drooling at the sight of an especially tasty bone. And he will look at you with that hungry, loving need in his eyes. Imagine the love you'll feel when he starts gently nuzzling your neck, kissing your face, and whispering these words: I think I'm falling for you. You are the only one for me. Because let me be clear, I am not just talking about a simple crush or the type of love that starts off great but then fades away over time. I'm talking about the type of big love that he literally has no control over. Just the way that a man who is an alcoholic is so powerfully addicted that he literally can't stop himself from craving another drink. These phrases really can make a man obsessed with you. So if you're just looking to play games with a man, to boost your ego by having men helplessly obsessed with you, or to feel the rush of having a man sacrifice everything to be with you, then leave this page now. These phrases are only for women who want to overwhelm a man with passionate love, the type of love that makes the world a better place for both of you, and that fills your life with those warm feelings of strength and togetherness. So if you want to have a man sweetly, passionately yearning for you, and to have him honestly doing everything in his power to overwhelm you with passionate love and desire forever, then conversation chemistry isn't just a choice, it's your only choice. Remember, these phrases are proven to work for any woman who uses them. They are so simple, so casual that you can use them in any type of a relationship situation, and you get all your money back right away if you're not satisfied. Click the button now. It is extremely important that you do not put this off for one moment longer. Here's why. First of all, you are completely covered by my ironclad guarantee, so there's no reason not to invest in the future of your love life right now. Second, this low price will not last forever. And once it's gone, it's gone. So please don't go writing me any emails begging for a second chance if you miss this one. You have to act right now before you miss out. Plus, Mirabelle's rare and brilliantly valuable bonuses are only available to women who act today in this presentation. If you come back later, I can't guarantee you'll even get access to this rare information. It will change your love life forever. I don't want you to miss out. I know it's been a frustrating and confusing road up until now. When you don't have the secret that makes true love easy, relationships can be heartbreaking. I've been there for years. And before I got my hands on these magical desire phrases, my life was so cold and lonely that I was beginning to doubt that my prince would ever show up for me. Yet now, every day I wake up and feel his arms around me. I see his face beaming with love and adoration for me. And I know he will be with me forever, fighting for me, supporting me, and truly loving me. Don't you want that for yourself? Because if you don't commit to the future of your love life now, you might never do it. You might just sit back and watch as you continue to feel helpless. You continue to feel hopeless, and you continue to see other women get the love they want, while you just get the scraps. Is that really enough for you? Don't you deserve more than that? Don't you want to know what it feels like to have a man openly, adoringly committed to you forever? To know that he is on your side, to know that he will fight for you, and to know that he will be your strength, your safety, and your haven in the storm forever. When you truly have the commitment of a loving man, it changes everything. Click the button now. Now is your chance to get everything you've ever wanted. And right here, right now, is maybe the most important decision you'll ever make about your future. Because if you don't have love, then what does anything else matter? Are you really willing to risk loneliness forever? Don't waste your chance. Don't miss out on the one thing you've always wanted. Make the only smart choice you can. Take full advantage of this incredible one-time only offer. Click the Add to Cart button now. Change everything now. And get the love you've always wanted, starting right now.